All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories. As you can see, Mikey is not with us today. He has taken the little one to a birthday party for the twins or something, I guess. I don't know. That's how he put it to me. But anywho, today I have Art Against Ignorance is with us, or with me, anyways, today. Pretty sure Mikey might be around for the after party. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, just so you guys know ahead of time, that Art Against Ignorance will not be able to do the after party because he's going to go check out a gig that his son is doing at around noon his time, which would be 7 my time. So
yeah, two of my oldest boys, just to jump in, my two oldest boys, they're both musicians, and they gig like regularly. So he just happens to have a gig on today at that time. It's an afternoon thing, like 12 o'clock. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to come and hang out, but that's probably not going to happen. Although I may be able to jump in. Maybe I can get the phone out and show you some live footage at the after
that might
party.
be cool.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be cool. I'm pretty sure we won't get any strikes against us on the YouTubes there if that happens. So
yeah, well, it is covers music, so yeah, there could be an issue. I don't know.
Oh, that's true too. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I want to say welcome to the show for sure.
Thank you.
For starters.
It was great to be here, mate.
And we did talk a little bit about this beforehand because I think I'd asked you once in the past, and you're like, well, I was never really religious or whatever that. But however, you did go through as the description box says below. Also, guys, all of Art's links are below if you want to follow him around and check out his projects and stuff like that. They're all down there below. But we have mentioned that you did some spirituality type stuff, and of course, a definition of that is pretty ambiguous. So
yeah,
basically, kind of tell us about those days, about how you kind of went into that, and what sort of things you sort of saw in there that were making you scratch your head, like this doesn't make any fucking sense, like that kind of thing.
Well, look, I'll go from the beginning. Really, like my bringing up wasn't religious, so like I know that a lot of people that you chat to, I mean, because it's deconversion stories,
correct?
That you're speaking to people that are Christians or whatever, probably mostly Christians. And deconverting from that never happened to me. It was not part of my life. I wasn't brought up in that way. You know, like you had the typical christenings and the sort of things that you did in churches, weddings, funerals, those type of things, because it's kind of tradition, you know, so it was more along those lines. So I wasn't brought up with it. But I mean, it's kind of lingering around there. It's there, but I kind of realized.
Did you have anyone trying to rope you into some form of like Christianity or anything like that? No, okay.
My parents didn't care. I was kind of lucky. Like they would comment on the odd thing, like, you know, I don't know, just kind of when you're a kid, if you do something naughty, you know, God might be watching, blah, blah, blah. Just maybe occasional silly little comment, but there was no belief behind it. There was no conviction, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was never, ever taken seriously in my family at all, you know? Yeah, so it was not really a thing. But you still go through your own spiritual journey, and I'm leading up to what your question before. You go on your own spiritual journey, but like when I was probably even in my teens, I realized that, you know, that there's a lot of question marks around religion and God and all this, because, I mean, you know, wars that happen over religion, all the obvious kind of questions. Why is there starvation? Why is there so much? If God is all powerful and he can potentially fix these things up, why doesn't he do it? Just the obvious questions, you know? So I think by the time I was 20, I just canceled God out and said, that's non-existent. Malarkey. It's malarkey. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not interested, you know? And I moved on from that. But, I guess I kind of drifted, because you're always on a bit of a quest for the truth and you want to know what the truth is. So I kind of drifted. up until I went down a spiritual path. Yes,
Oh, what's this now?
the power of
The
now.
power of now?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was a big one that affected me. Um, I don't know. It's more kind of new age spirituality, and you're at one with the universe. You're connected. You're eternal. All of these kinds of things. And look, it's more based on Eastern kind of religions,
Sure.
Buddhism, and things, which are kind of more appealing to me overall.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So I got kind of drawn down that path and really explored that. And that book was one that really kind of grabbed me. But once again, the little skeptic bug was always hanging around there and saying, hang on a minute. Oh, I'm not sure I got questions, but I did hang around that for quite a few years. And I did get some things out of it. So I don't know if you want to
I'd like
talk
to
about
know
that.
basically if you could give us like an overview of, we'll say, the philosophy behind that book and stuff like that.
Well, really, bottom line is what the title is. It's the power of now. So don't let your thoughts go into the future because you can't do anything about it. And don't dwell on the past because it's done. You can't do anything about that either. And obviously it gets way more complex than that, but
Sure.
essentially it's that. You can only live right now. Don't let your mind drift away into other areas because it's not going to do any good. And all it's going to do is stress you out in one way or another, make you feel guilt or make you feel anxiety about the future, which neither you have any control over, and just be in the moment. Essentially, that's what it is. But he'll bring in Eastern religions and different things. Well, he brings in Christianity and stuff like that too. And it's well written and well put together, and it drags you in. It does draw you in, So I did go down that path for a while, but was never totally committed. Always had the skeptic bug, always asking questions.
What were some of the things about it that you remain skeptical of?
They never ever get to a point with anything. There's never a definite answer to anything,
Okay.
It's always left kind of meandering, and you're not like you do in science. They give you definite things, I
Yeah,
mean, there's still many questions to
of
be
course.
asked about with science, and they'll admit that, but they'll give you a definite answer to definite things about gravity and whatever, and this works because this, blah blah blah.
Sure.
All
Science is a
religions,
process. So
science is a process. It's a totally different thing.
it's a
Um,
methodology.
it's a methodology. Yeah, exactly. There's a scientific method, whereas there's no method behind this. So nothing specific, just the meandering of ideas that never ever gave you an answer. You're always just left thinking, well, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. It's based on faith. Same as religion, that's based on faith. It's like, just believe in it and it'll work for you. Commit, just go in there, I don't know if you know of Andy Fellows. He's a YouTuber, and he goes deeply
I
into
think
that
so.
side of things, way more than what I do, because I'm essentially a musician that went on a bit of a spiritual journey. But he talks a lot more about it and goes in depth about all that sort of thing. It always leaves you hanging. Religion, spirituality always leaves you hanging, doesn't give you any answers.
True enough.
Bottom line.
Yeah, we tend to. One thing I find about anything that is in that sort of genre of things, including things like astrology or mediums and all that stuff too, they basically give you some vague, meaningless things that they say that you
Yeah.
can interpret as being intensely personal. Like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
that clicks with me, but it's nothing really.
Yeah. It's
Everyone can
also
identify.
generalized, you know, and
Yes.
things like reading palms, and I know people that still believe in astrology, and
Me too.
will go to mediums, and like even young people, you know, and you think young people are starting to, you know, get away from all of this type of woo and religion and whatever. And I think for the
Many
most
are.
part they are. Many are.
Yeah.
But there's still a few out there, and I just hear about. They'll be telling you about it. It's like I don't go on too much when people talk to me about stuff like that now. Like there was a time when I'd be all over it, and I'd just jump on and say, "Look, it's bullshit, and this is why." Blah blah blah. But it's kind of unfair in a lot of ways, I guess. And no one needs to be kind of insulted and picked on all the time. So I just kind of listen now. But when people tell me stories like that, I'm just thinking, and they're talking about, you know, how they're making decisions in their life based on things that their medium has told them, or that this says this in the stars or whatever. I'm just thinking, don't. It's not going to work for you. You might convince yourself that it is, but it really isn't, you know. It's so general, you know. Astrology.
Did you ever see that? Was it the James Randi one where he went into a classroom with a bunch of kids and he handed out all the papers with their horoscopes on them, and they all read them, and they're all like, and he's like, okay, how many of you put your hands up if you feel that this, you know, applies to you? And you know, like 60% of the class threw their hands up like this. And he goes, now, how many of you feel like it somewhat applies to you? And you know, 30 odd percent. And then of course the rest of them put their hands up with they didn't think it was anything to do with them at all. And then he said he gets them all to pass it to the person back to them, and of course they're all the same. Right, so everyone
Yeah.
looks and they start laughing because it's exactly the same as every other one that was passed around. And he goes, and that's an example of just how easily we can be convinced that the words on this paper are directed at us somehow.
Absolutely. I don't know that I saw that one. I love James Randi because he was a pioneer in that type of area, and just, you know, cutting through bullshit and exposing it for what it is.
For sure.
But yeah, I have heard of similar things like that. I don't know if I've seen James Randi's one in specific, but yeah, what a guy, what a pioneer, you know, a leader in the area. Another one for me was the one that kind of changed my life from that, and I wish I had his book here, was Carl Sagan. The Demon Haunted World was
great book.
The book that changed my life.
Great fucking book. I have a hard copy and an Audible copy.
Yeah. I've read it like 3.5 times, I think. Only half a time, because the fourth time I went to read it, a friend said, well, that book kind of looks interesting. Can I borrow it? And then he borrowed it. So I have, and I haven't got it back yet. So, yeah.
How long ago did you loan it to him?
Probably a year ago, maybe something like that. That's all good.
Oh, it takes a long time to read it.
Apparently, yeah. I'm not sure how far he got with that one, but yeah. Look, a life changer. Talk about a book that just leads you in a direction and gives you answers. You know, I was saying about that doesn't give you answers, and you know, the Bible doesn't give you answers. No. That book, Demon Haunted World, gives you answers.
I like what Dave says here. My horoscope says that it's a bad time to go to my palm reader, but that's not what my tarot cards say. I may go after I see my psychic tomorrow before Reiki.
Yeah, all of those. Like, what are you going to do with all that? You know, it's just like.
I know. I have a friend that does Reiki, and I asked her once. I go, "Do you really believe this?" She goes, "Yeah, of course it's real." I'm like, "No, it's not fucking real."
No,
she doesn't talk to me much.
No, well, that's what I was saying before. Is like I used to be a person at parties that, or barbecues, or just having conversations with people that would just come out and just say, this is fucking bullshit, and this is why, and blah blah blah. Have you ever explored this? And I stopped doing that because it
weren't invited to too many parties.
You don't get invited to too many parties, and my wife kind of looks at me when I start doing it, and she'll just go, "Oh,
Here we go.
please don't go there." So I don't know. Look, I kind of listen to people, and I'll put a few ideas in their head and say, kind of suggest, have you ever explored such and such? Rather than really having a go at them. Purple's in the chat there.
Yeah, Purple nailed it. I'll never call a psychic. If they're any good, they'll know when to call me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't know much at all. So, did I see Angie Dell in the chat before too?
Angie is here as well. Yeah.
She'll be doing her
a future guest. I'm kind of hoping. The YouTube name is Henry June. I would like to have on the show at some point too, because I think it'd be a very interesting conversation with them. So should be cool.
Yeah,
we'll set it up. Don't worry.
Awesome, mate. Yeah. Anywho, I like that, the Canadian thing.
Anywho,
yeah. Bring it on. What else do you want to know? What exciting things do you want me to bring you right now?
Aunt Ger just made a really good point in the chat, and
good.
for the most part,
Aunt
I would
Ger's
agree
there as
with
well.
that. Yeah, mocking people's beliefs, especially to their face, isn't a good way to convince them that they're wrong. They'll just double down. Yeah, a lot of times they will, but I have had that, although they're few and far between. I have had conversations where people are actually accepting of the fact that they just got proven wrong. And one thing I always say to these folks is the best part about being proven wrong, you're no longer wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's
and I have
right.
changed a couple of minds here and there, but most of the time it's going to end up the way Ansher pointed out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of the times we atheists, skeptics, humanists, free thinkers, whatever you want to call us, are preaching to the choir. So you're talking to your own people. We all get it, and we all agree.
Yeah.
So everything you say, no matter how harsh, 95% of people that follow you or whatever are going to come back and say, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I agree. And the whole point of what we all do in our own way is to get beyond that. So I think that's when you have to have that attitude of, let's not just point the finger and say, you're full of shit, mate. You got no fucking idea. Check this out, rather than just have a conversation and maybe pose some questions and what about, this or that? And so that they can almost talk themselves out of it, If
street epistemology is really good for that, right?
Exactly that type of thing. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly along those lines.
Yeah, you kind of ask them questions so they actually think about why they believe something.
Which is what it's all about. And Purple Rhymes with Orange would say, think for yourself. That's the whole point, just question things yourself. But if you're pointing the finger and saying, this is how it is, well, you become an authoritarian like the religions or whatever that these people have come from, or their beliefs, saying this is how it is. You become that. So I think it can be, in most of the time, a bad approach, to just say this is how it is and to be all in people's faces, proselytizing, I guess.
It's a form of, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But not to do with religion. You're coming from your point of view, you're anti-religion, you're atheist. And people, I don't think people take kindly to just being told one way or the other anyway. So
most people don't. Nope.
Yeah. So if you have the skill where you're able to, and I try, I don't know that I'm the best talker, but if you have a skill where you're able to kind of just chat to people in that way, I think you can bring people around to starting to, consider and be more reasonable about things and put some ideas in their head that they may just go away and have a bit of a think about,
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, getting people to think rather than telling them what to think is far better.
Right? Absolutely. So yeah. That's my point.
Greases the wheels, gets them going, and then they start to, oh shit, why do I believe this, or why do I think this or whatnot, right? Then they actually you're more likely to have success in bringing somebody around to a better way of thinking or a better belief system by going that route than you are by just telling them they're fucking wrong. You're wrong, and that's bullshit, and it's made up, and blah blah. And they're going to go, "Hey, whoa, fuck you."
Yeah, I think so, mate, because you'll get reactions if you're in people's faces. People are reactionary, like we're emotional.
Oh yeah.
So, you'll respond, and it's just like, well, don't you fucking tell me, blah, 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 So, yeah, that's maybe it's not the best approach, but we're all just humans, I suppose. We do the best we can. And you're out there, doing what you do on this channel, and it's great. I love this whole skeptic community because the thing is that everybody is trying to say it in their own way. But yeah, we need to try not to preach to the choir and bring people in from elsewhere,
Yeah. Henry June says, I have DID, which is disassociated. What's the word? I can't remember what it is. Anyway,
not
so
familiar with that, but
two distinct kind of personalities. The male side is an atheist. The female side is forging her own belief in God. She's always been more spiritual, whatever the hell that means. It's a tricky tightrope, and I bet it is, and that's one of the reasons I think it might be a really good, interesting conversation to have them on the show. So, could be very interesting.
That does sound interesting. Dare I say that sounds slightly schizophrenic, or
I think it's DID is dissociated identity disorder, something like that. So it's like two distinct personalities trapped in the same brain. And I thought, because I've heard this before happening to people that have had their corpus callosum severed, where they develop two personalities in the same. And oftentimes one of them is secular or atheist, and the other side is into the woo or religion or something like that. So they have two personalities just like that.
Wow.
Not always two, could be more. Yes, absolutely. But I meant in this case.
Okay. Look, that's really interesting because that's not something I'm familiar with. So,
yeah, there are a lot of stories about people who've had that happen or had that operation. And it has to be done for some medical reason, and I can't remember what it was that they usually do that, but that's often the result.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, that is quite interesting. I need to explore that.
Very interesting stuff. And Henry June says, "No, I haven't had much luck becoming a part of the DID community." Well, you're always welcome in our community. We don't judge, and we like to have good time. And
Clarice Bear, we were talking. Sorry to butt in. She's a great person in the community. You probably came across her. We were talking about ideas for band names, and also how we could describe ourselves as what we are, because there's a bunch of different terms, humanists, atheists, critical thinkers, whatever. She had the idea of the non-judgmentals, which is what you basically just said then, was like, we don't judge. Like, we're open to ideas and we'll listen and take, people's thoughts and ideas on board, and everyone is welcome. That's what I love about the community. Religious communities aren't like that. I'm not saying that everyone in religious communities are like that, but religion in itself is non-accepting, whereas we're accepting. Non-judgmentals. Clarice Bear, if you happen to be around, like, it's a great idea. And yes, we should call the band that.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about some of these projects that you've got going on, because you asked me to be a part of one, but unfortunately I don't even play guitar, right? So I'm just the vocalist, the musically talentless asshole that hangs out with the rest of the musicians in the band. So that's my position. I just get out. That
is a good description of singers. No, that's not. I'm
don't
joking.
Think my drummer would argue with you.
Yeah, no, look, the idea I had for that was just, I'm doing a new theme for my channel, and I'm just getting a bunch of different people from the community to sing a line. So I've got a handful of people in.
See, I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not about playing guitar. I know you don't play guitar because we've had this conversation before previously.
I could do some like really shitty 12-bar blues, and that's about it.
Hey, they can get used a lot. You know the 3 chords?
Yeah.
You can, you can use that. So yeah. But look, that was just sing a line. That's all. So, but yeah, mate, I've got a bunch of different ideas. I guess if you're asking about what I'm all about and what my channel's about, yeah. So obviously, look, I've had 2 separate things in my life which have been, selfishly about me. One has been music, and the other is my search for truth. All right. So they are the 2 separate aspects of my life, which obviously the most important things in your life are family and friends and community and people, right? That goes without saying. All right. So that doesn't need to be brought up really. But selfishly, for me, one side is music and the other is my search for truth. That's why I went down that path. That's why I read Carl Sagan. Now, Art Against,
still such a good book, man.
It's the best, mate. It's my Bible. If I was going to pick a Bible for me, it's that book. Go on,
Demon Haunted World, and I would throw in The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe too.
Well, I haven't bloody read that, so.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
Well, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going to be jumping on immediately after this, and after I see my son's gig today, I'm going to get that book. Okay, but look, to be honest, after the Demon Haunted World, I didn't need any other book. it's like
fair enough.
Carl, you're right, mate. 100%. I'm with you. So of course I've read The God Delusion and things like that.
Sure.
God Is Not Great, Christopher Hitchens, and they're all great books. But the Demon Haunted World for me changed my life. But that book you just suggested, I think I might just go and have a read of it. But yeah, for me, so the 2 separate things, and Art Against Ignorance is about bringing those 2 things together, because music's always been there. My search for truth has been there for a very long time, and it brought me to this community, which is why I'm here talking to you right now. It's what brought me into this community. And to start to explore that area. So yeah, it gave me my skepticism and
thanks, Native Atheist.
My current attitude. So Art Against Ignorance is about putting the 2 together and presenting ideas and things like things that you will speak about, topics that you will bring up in this format. I'm doing musically and artistically. So that's what my channel's all about, is bringing people together who are artistic. And then most of them are skeptic artists as well. So I've got humanists and all kinds of people in there who are artistic. And yeah, it's bringing those together. So I would love to have you in there.
Well, if I can do it, for sure. I don't know what's going on between Air and Native Atheist, but they can't see each other in the chat apparently. So there you go.
All right.
Native Atheist Air says to say hi. Or he said to hit you, I think. Is that what that was? Yeah,
virtual slap.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I could do something like that for sure. I use I don't know if you are okay with it, but I use what the hell's the name of that? Audacity is the program that I use.
Yeah.
So I've done most of my voice work before. Oh, and speaking of voice work, I got this in the mail on Friday. It's the Quinn Redshift T-shirt for Bionic Dance's project that I voiced one of the characters.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Of course, I voiced the bad guy, Captain Robinson. Would you please, Captain Robinson? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and I got that in the mail the other day, and I thought
taking off the Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yeah. I had like a whopping 4 lines in the whole thing or something like that, and then I did a bunch of grunty noises that she was able to use for some of the other characters too. So
is that grunter? Is that on her channel?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I think it's on
On
her
Bionic
channel.
Dance?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go and Google Quinn Redshift, and it'll take you right to it.
Okay, that's cool.
Some folks in the chat that I haven't seen in a while, like Christy Santiago. Hello, love, nice to see you.
Ah,
And
I'm familiar with all
also-
these people. It's so
also
cool. I love this community.
Lena jumped in. I've never seen Lena in the chat before. Welcome, welcome. And Aunt Jur made a point about your links being kind of lower in the description box, because I have all the usual shit that so I basically copy paste everything and then change some of the stuff up for every guest, right? Because it's a lot easier than that. So, and usually I put all the links for the guest somewhere, towards the bottom, where I also have all the links for like Recovering from Religion, Clergy Project, and all the stuff that helps people out that are leaving religion or having a tough time with it. So maybe I will actually bump that up a little bit higher so that people can get to the guest links, because I get it, that extra scroll, a little too much, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's whatever. But I just appreciate you like having me on, and having the links on there is just great anyway, because like for me, I was kind of hiding away for a while, because being a musician and an artist, I was kind of hiding because I'm a writer and I just wanted to be in the background. And plus, being an older dude, it's like I turned 57 on the 7th of June, which I just found out.
Oh, happy belated.
Thank you.
I'll catch up to you in October. I'll be 57 in October.
Okay. I thought we were kind of close, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Months
I found
apart,
out Prince's birthday is the 7th of June as well. I just found out today. So that was
very cool.
Pretty cool. So I'll take that.
Prince is an amazing musician.
Yeah, he was awesome. But yeah, so look, I was kind of hiding, but I'm only just recently started to kind of come out and say, look, I'm just going to get out and speak to people and do things like this and do my own live streams and put myself out there, So the fact that you're having me on and that we're having a chat and you're able to put links up and things is very cool. Because the only way you can put your shit out there, unless you got $10 million to, promote your stuff, is to come out and just talk and be the face and the voice of what you believe in. That's the only way to do it. So you're giving me an opportunity to do that.
I recommend one of the linking pages like Linktree, or there's another one too, Oracle, I think it's called. But and I just put all my links there, and then I just post a Linktree link, and then everyone can go and find anything and everything they either want or maybe even don't want about me. They can they can check it out there, right?
I need to learn about all that stuff. I do have a Linktree. Look, I'm kind of on a lot of the social media, but I need to learn how to use it better, or to find the time, to be honest, to use it, because it's also time consuming, especially if you're working and you're just trying to write songs and create product and put ideas out there. That takes up most of your time. So
thank you, Lena, and happy Pride to you. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, actually, you know what I can do now is if you give me your Linktree link, I'll just take the other ones out and pop that one in there, and that'll take anyone to everything that you've got out there that you want people to see.
Okay. Well, I'll tweet that to you.
Yeah, later on, and I can add it in after the fact. It's fine.
Yeah, cool.
I do have I think I have your Twitter and YouTube, and YouTube is the most important one because I think that's where people can see anything to do with most of the projects that you do. So because you put a lot of stuff there, right? So.
Well, I've started posting regularly. When I first started out doing what I'm doing, I wanted to be totally professional with everything and have high quality recordings and high quality videos. And I just realized that that's so time consuming and expensive in some ways. And that if I'm going to do that, I'm only going to be putting content out like once every 6 months or something. You're not going to get anything out there. So now it's gotten to the point where it's like, no, I'm just putting things out regularly, whether it's me playing an idea when I'm sitting in my van at work. I take a little ukulele with me to work and sit it in my van.
Awesome.
I have an idea, I'll just plonk away at it, and I've decided
tiptoe through the tulips, through the tulips.
Yeah, there's a bit of that going on. I don't quite have the high voice. I don't quite have that.
I just immediately just squeezed my nuts there just to make that happen. So. I'm just kidding.
You see, the things you learn from fellow artists, and
Right,
you being a singer, you would know about squeezing bowls and things like that. So. Oh, is that my phone? No, my phone's going off too. Yeah. So, yeah.
I turned my phone into a drinking game. So.
Oh, good.
Every time you see hashtag coins, you drink. That's my phone makes the Mario coin noise. So every time I get a notification, goes, it makes the coin noise. So I just do hashtag coins, and everyone drinks or smokes a puff of something or whatever they want.
Awesome. I like that game.
Yeah.
Can I play?
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah. It's only like
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
True. Yeah. Always go with that philosophy. I like that. Yeah, that's good thinking.
By the way, 5 o'clock a.m. or p.m. it's good either way, because 5 a.m. means you're still drinking and 5 p.m. means you started drinking. So there you
absolutely, go. Absolutely. I must say at 57, I'm starting to get to the point where 5 a.m. is just pushing the boundaries a little bit, but you know.
I'll save it for my OnlyFans. Okay, Andrew. Squeezing my balls. All right.
South Park.
Doorknob says, only nuts.
It is only nuts.
Yeah, for sure. And Native Atheist gave us a super chat earlier, and I want to remind folks that all the money earned on this channel is going to my very good friend, co-host and producer, Mr. Mikey Famine, because he just had a baby girl and kids are expensive. So we're donating all the proceeds from this channel to him, so to help him raise that beautiful little girl that he just had. So, well,
congratulations.
Yeah. So
no, that's awesome.
I other than this, I earn a pretty decent living, so I can live without a few extra bucks just to make sure Mikey can do what he's got to do with the little one.
Yeah, it's a crime of passion, isn't it, that we do? I'm the same. Like I work full time, so 9 to 5 job, 5 days a week, which is why I take my ukulele in the van with me, because then I can, muck around with some ideas. But
sure.
But yeah, it's all. It's a thing that you do because you're passionate about, you believe in it, and that's what I'm doing now. But I'm kind of hoping that I can develop the channel and bring artistic people like yourself into the fold. It's kind of developing, it's building, and I feel as though we're going to start to put some really, really good quality ideas out there. Because the other thing that I neglected to mention is that we this could be frightening. Relax, it's not that frightening.
Okay, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're all good. No, it's not bad. I have a recording studio. I mentioned my 2 oldest boys are musicians full time. The middle one's a music producer. So we have a studio together that we've invested in, and the potential for creating really, really high quality stuff is there. And the goal is to produce high quality stuff. But in between those times when you can't be consistent and put stuff out there, put content out there, if you're going to wait until you have the best product, as I mentioned before, it's going to take you ages. But anyhow, the potential is there, and we are together in a group, and they're part of what I do. The goal is ultimately to put very high quality ideas that are based in skeptic and
reason
and humanist ideas and free thought ideas. It's kind of I guess an antidote to religious music or worship music. It's putting out ideas from our point of view, instead of from that side of thing, like say Hillsong or something like that.
Right.
And we will produce high quality stuff, but there's a mix of levels of content that will be put out there, from me playing a ukulele in a van to me working with other people like Angie Dell. I'm doing things with her.
And she's got a fucking amazing voice, I gotta say.
I know. How many times have I've told her that so many times. I spoke to her this morning. No, I spoke to her yesterday morning, actually. Yeah, we do private chats pretty regularly, and we jam on some things. We're putting out a song soon.
Cool.
She only does karaoke, but what a voice. Just natural talent. If she had followed that path and gone down that road, she would have been out there doing gigs, She would have been a pro.
Oh,
yeah.
hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that I know her, I probably would have been able to get into her shows for free. But if she did make it famous, then I would have paid to see her for sure.
Absolutely. You guys met, didn't you, at some stage? I think you guys.
She ran up and gave me a big hug, and I was like, "Oh, Angie," and I gave her a big hug, kind of thing, and that was really cool. She didn't want to stick around for the festivities, I guess, because she didn't feel like paying that kind of money to go and hang out with a bunch of idiot stick atheists like us.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. I agree.
But she did miss my karaoke that I did there. They had a karaoke thing going there, and I did a song from a band that nobody in the U.S. really knows. Well, some that live closer to the border might know. The Tragically Hip is the name of the band.
Right.
And I did a song called New Orleans is Sinking, and I like to sing that one quite often, and usually I get standing ovations when I do it in pubs or whatever the fuck we do here.
Yeah.
And and she's like, "Shut up, you're making me blush." Good. Pink looks good on you.
You've got a killer voice as well, which is why I'd love to get you involved in something. And I know your thing is the 90s grunge vibe. That's what I get from you. That's what I hear.
Well, we some of it, like our song Immortal Realm or whatever, it probably has more of an 80s feel to it, like the 80s pop metal-y kind of feel to it. And when we write, a lot of our music, we like to show or at least you'll be able to hear all the different eras and bands that influenced us and our music, right up from like Zeppelin, Sabbath to Tool and Alice in Chains. Like you'll hear all that stuff, right? So.
Exactly. That was one band I was going to say, Alice in Chains. Like what you do reminds me of that.
I do Man in a Box. I can do that song.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. They were one of my favorites too. I loved them.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Back in the 90s. But yeah, all the same influences, Zeppelin and all of those guys.
Yeah. Love me some Zeppelin. Love me some Sabbath. Deep Purple.
So yeah, all of the above. I was kind of brought up on that stuff, although most of that was like 70s, so it was like almost like 10 years too early for me, because I'm an 80s kid, so I was doing the 80s dance, but it was loved Zeppelin and all that. Being a musician, you just
how could you not, right?
Yeah, how could you not? Yeah, it's just classic stuff.
Fuck, Bonham's got to be one of the best freeform drummers I've ever heard.
Oh, absolutely, mate. There's no one like him. Classic. I bought all their albums, all the Zeppelin albums. I had all of them in album form, by the way. Oh, I'm reading comments now. I'm just having a bit of a look. So look, Neil, I'd love to get you in and
sure.
Get you to sing some vocals. You don't have to play guitar. Who said anything about playing guitar?
Well, I was looking at our conversation earlier, and I told you that I didn't play guitar, and you were like, "Oh, well,
exactly."
So I don't really need to.
You don't have to. I can do that. And look, do you want me to play you the song?
Oh, sure, yeah.
That I wanted to get you in on, and I'm getting everybody to do a line.
Actually, two of my more recently written songs are atheist songs, like basically like give up the beliefs and cut the strings and all that kind of thing. So,
mate, that's cool. And all of my content is based on things like that. It's all very topical. It's not all religious, but the idea, like Art Against Ignorance, is Well, it's connecting with people on an intellectual level, like through music and through art, and ignorance you find often, ignorance is based. That and religion kind of connects. They're so closely related. So obviously religion comes up quite a bit in the stuff that I do. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of content like that as well. But yeah, I'd love to have you in there and just get your voice in there. All these different voices. That's what I love. I'm creating this artistic atheist community.
Collage.
If you like. It is. It's a collage, a montage, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so this is going to be my new intro. I don't believe in God, but I believe in music. It's got the power. I'm gonna use it. And I believe in evolution. And the world needs solutions. I'm gonna sing a song of reason. And I want a revolution. Right now, don't hesitate. We gotta try to change the weather before it's too late.
I like it.
That's my little intro jingle.
I like it.
Thank you. I just wanted to get you to sing a line in there. I've got a few people that are doing lines, so I'd love to.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Sure.
Yeah. Pick a line, any line.
Wait, you can do a trick now?
No, that's my only trick. That's all I can do. And it's all music based, so
yeah, we'll talk about this again a little bit after the fact, because you got to do your son's gig and stuff like that later on. But yeah, we'll definitely connect there and maybe do a video call through Facebook or something, and we can go over which ones I might be able to do. Because yeah, I'd love to sing a line. That'd be great.
Awesome,
I'd love to be a part of that, because I like the whole idea of that, and to be a part of something like that would be huge for me. So,
well, mate, I've discovered, since being out in the skeptic community and exploring who's out there and who's doing what, how much talent there is. And like, you're in that mix, and Angie's in that mix, and the people that you find, Shelley Siegel doing stuff.
Yeah, great.
Like I got her to sing on one of my songs. She recorded with me. I can't lie to myself. So it's about heaven. I can't lie to myself, I mean, you'd love to believe that maybe something like that's there, but it isn't. So I can't lie to myself. So if you check out my channel, you'll hear her singing one of my tracks. Also, did a thing with Aaron Ra where I was able to get him into a video clip as well. So that was pretty cool.
He's looking down at a mirror. Pick a line, any line.
We're not talking about snorting cocaine here, by the way.
Yeah. Ollie, you're a bad influence.
But yeah, mate. Yeah. So look, there is so much talent out there. This is my point, and I'm trying to bring that together.
And kudos to you for that. And I think once all is said and done, it might be really, really cool. The little tune that you're going to have going there, I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. And I think I'll, for one, share the shit out of it for sure once it's done, and get it out there so people can hear it.
Awesome, mate. That'd be great. Yeah, because like I'm doing regular live streams now. It's like every couple of weeks I'm doing a live stream, and in between that, putting different content out there. So that's going to be my new intro for the show that I'm doing. Do you know of Blatant Atheist? I know that Mikey Famine does.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's been on the show.
Right. Okay. There's another friend of mine. Are you aware how talented that guy is?
Yep. Well aware.
Yeah.
Mikey and I have spoken about that before, actually. And Mikey too.
The
You should get Mikey in there too, because he can sing and he plays guitar and he
Yeah,
does all kinds of shit. Right? He makes music and stuff. But it's linked below. His SoundCloud, I think, is linked below, and he's got a ton of stuff that he's done. A
right.
ton that he hasn't put out yet. That's really cool. Little
Yeah.
like beats and stuff like that, or little tunes that sound really, really spacey and stuff. It's kind of cool. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah, because I know that Blake Blathius speaks of Mikey Famine a bit. So yeah, obviously there's a creative, artistic thing going on there.
Mhm.
But yeah, totally, mate. Like all of these people, I just love the idea of everyone coming together and putting out ideas and presenting our position artistically and creatively. That's my goal. But yeah, BB is amazing. Like he just keeps surprising me. Like I first heard him doing rap stuff, and I just thought this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's really good.
The Onus on Us, I think, was the first track that I heard because it was tweeted out there. And I thought, this is great. I've got to explore this guy, and then I've got to communicate with him. And then we did a song together, and we've done a couple of things together. But he just keeps surprising me. Like he's got an awesome voice as well. He's not just a rap artist. He's got a great
he
voice.
can sing too. Yeah,
he can sing as well. He calls himself a comedian, and he is funny. He's great, but that's what he sees himself as.
Yeah, he is pretty fucking funny. That's for sure.
Yeah,
We
very
had some
witty.
great laughs.
Yeah, very witty dude. So, yeah, look, he's great, and he's on the show as well. I know he was moving.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah, I think he's
he was
done
moving.
now.
Yep. Well, I have to get in contact with him because he's probably due to come on a live stream again as well. But yeah, mate, look, that's great. Mikey Famine and all these guys, if they're all into like creating and doing stuff, I'm here. That's what I do. That's what I love. So anyway, enough about me.
That's fantastic, man. No, I'm looking forward to doing something with you, a line for that song for sure, and maybe something else in the future. I literally have like, I don't know, so many unused lyrics that I've written over the years that I haven't put to any music yet. Some were involved in the song once, but that song is no longer a thing. So I just bring them back, and then I can apply them to something else at a future time. So there's all kinds of stuff that we could
mate, if you have ideas, bring them forward. And I guess the only thing with what I do musically and artistically is that it's kind of got to be relevant topically and lyrically to what we all stand for and all believe in. So it's kind of not just random song about, hey, I went to the pub the other night and got pissed, or I'm in love with this person or whatever, because it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah. So the only thing would be, just being topically relevant to, to what we all kind of stand for and talk about. That would be the only thing. But I'm writing a song at the moment with Angie Dell. Actually, we're working on two things. She's got an original song called You Rock, which we're working on together, which is a religion-based thing, and how, believe in yourself. You don't need religion. It's you that's doing it. It's not religion. It's not God that's carrying you through. And it's about like you rock. So that's a great idea. And we're also working on another track together, Hellbound Highway. So it's going to be a bit of a parody fun thing. I won't even talk about it. You'll hear it soon. It'll be coming out soon. So
very good.
If anyone's interested, they can check that out.
Are you? I don't know if you saw what Andre said there, but do you know who Madam Who is?
Yes, Madam Who's a regular on my stream. She's been on. Yeah, she was on last week.
Another great artist.
She's another great artist. She's a humanist artist. Yeah, I communicate with her regularly. Yep. And we're doing stuff together. She's got a track called Don't Drink the Kool-Aid, or it's just called Kool-Aid, actually.
I think it's called Kool-Aid,
we're working on that at the moment as well, and sort of taking that in other areas and hoping to bring in some different artists from the community to sort of put their part into that.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So, mate, a bunch of ideas and things going on. It's great that, someone knows Madam Who as well. I think we're getting a little bit of a thing going
I
there
think
with the
so.
channel. So,
I
I
think
hope
so.
people will jump on board with it. But yeah, I know your channel is all about deconversion stories, and I never needed to be
Mostly.
deconverted. Mostly, yeah.
Mostly
But you're
about the
talking to people from the community,
indeed. Yeah.
in general, and just chatting about
Yep.
things. Yeah, because I don't have a deconversion story because I was
Was another guy
never
to
in
get
there.
involved.
Bottom line.
My friend Michael's
Awesome.
played guitar for 40 years. Get him
Awesome.
involved in some of this stuff too.
You're welcome, mate. Yeah, look,
Maybe I
just
can.
send me. People can email me, or they can DM me on Twitter. You've got my Twitter.
Yeah,
We can
can
share
I
that.
add Michael to the group?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. You can email me on artagainstignurance7@gmail.com. And yeah, absolutely. Anyone that's got any talents, I'm bringing different people in. I'm recording people doing different parts from around the world. I'm doing something for Godless Granny's channel, which is happening next week. So I've got people once again from everywhere to do a vocal part for that, which you'll hear next week on her show. So yeah, look, it's just very inclusive and community orientated, and just bringing people in to do stuff. So everybody is welcome. I had Nerdy Rodent, who's another one of our artistic fellows who does digital art and actually sings. He's put down a vocal for me for Godless Granny's thing, which I just received today. So I've got to mix that and produce it for next Wednesday for Godless Granny's show. I'm missing a bunch of these comments here. I'm really slow with the comments. Angie's in the chat. There she is. Hi, Angie.
So, what the hell's the name of the group again? Because I can't find it.
Oh, actually, I have. So you want my Twitter group? It's called Arty Chats. Oh, you're not in that group yet because I haven't asked you. So I need to
Is that the
include
one
you
where
in
you
that
do
group.
all the collaboration stuff, or?
It's all artists. Yep. It's all about people who are from the community, but who are artistic. It's only very small at the moment, but it's growing. I had another group, but that kind of dwindled. Yeah, I don't know. I can tweet that, I guess.
Send it to me. Invite me into the Arty chats one, I guess, and then I
will
can, and we'll send an invite to Michael as well.
do
Get
that.
him involved.
Okay. Hang on. Let me see. Arty chats. Add people. Because I don't just put people in there unless they want to be added.
Sure, of course.
So I've just added you then.
All right, excellent.
So, mate, you share it. Yes, absolutely. Anybody that is creative and from the community, more than welcome to jump in and join that group. We talk about what we're doing all the time and putting out ideas and things that we're working on and developing those ideas. So, yep.
I just added Michael, actually. So
Cool. All good.
So there we go.
Mate.
We'll try to get all the good artists in this group, and we'll collaborate on some really good future projects. I think we could make some really cool shit.
Mate, there's a bunch of ideas there, and let's work on it. And yes, I want to have all you people in there, mate. It's what it's all about. And it's like having like-minded people who are creative as well in there and putting ideas together. And I think that's when you get the best stuff, because there's a community out there that's not even just talented in an artistic way, but knowledgeable and comes from all different walks of life. And can really contribute something, because you're meeting people all the time from walks of life which you're not a part of, and the best way to connect with that type of lifestyle or whatever wherever people come from, is to speak to people from there, you know?
Yep.
So
Agreed.
that's why I
Agreed.
love, this whole internet bloody thing, to be honest. I mean, it's great. Connects you with the world. So
It
it's
does.
really
It does.
exciting. Yeah.
It does. Absolutely. Well, Art, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today for the hour. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, sir.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I had fun, and it's good to meet you. I know we were in a chat last week. Was it last week?
I think so,
You were
yep.
in for 5 minutes, and then you pissed off somewhere else and
Yeah, I know. I
did your thing. Yeah.
had
So
some shit going on, so
yeah, and we all have life. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it, and I've enjoyed it. Hopefully, we can do it
absolute pleasure.
again sometime. And mate,
Well, you're welcome to the after
let's do
parties
some things
anytime.
together.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be around.
And remember,
be
guys,
around.
the links for Art are below. And I think Andrew made a good point. I think I should raise the guest links up to a higher level so they're easier to find right away. I'll
Sounds
probably
like a
do that in the
plan.
future. Yeah,
Good on
and
you, mate.
also thank you to everyone in the chats on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Thanks, guys.
For hanging out. Always a lot of fun being able to interact with everyone. And also thanks to the amazing patrons and members that we have on the show now. And a reminder that all the cash being made on the show is going to Mikey. Somebody asked about the Patreon as well. Unfortunately, the way Patreon runs, and I kind of have issues with it, I support other creators as well. So any money that I make on Patreon automatically goes to them, to the people that I support. They just, for whatever reason, they automatically take the money. And I basically don't have enough patrons to come over top of that yet. I think I'm like $3 shy. I still have to pay out of my pocket $3 to everyone that I support, and someone said, well, you could just stop doing that, stop supporting people. I don't want to do that. I want to support, and I don't think my patrons would have any issues about supporting others in the community either. But just so you know,
Yep.
it still supports everything we do, and the super chats are great, and also there's PayPal links if you just want to do it that way. And all the money generated during the show at any time goes to Mikey for the little one. So just so you guys know.
Nice work, mate. Good for you. Good for you.
Well, he's my brother from another mother. What can I say? So got to make sure he's all right. And the link to the after party is in the description box below. But a quick reminder: Art here has to go and check out his son's gig, so he won't be joining us for this. But he has sort of given me a tentative promise to jump into one of them at some point.
I may try and pop in while I'm out there. How long do you go for? Like an hour or
hour and a half usually on average. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see how things go.
All right.
And yeah. I guess like I always say at the end of the interview part. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to be in the after party, hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Or you can hit my email as well, 604atheist@gmail.com. And I can get a link to you if you want to be a part of it. Until then, guys, like I always say at the end of the interview parts, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we will talk to you guys next time.
That's true. Thanks, guys. Good on you, Neil. See ya.